transfer windows can be frustrating, more so especially when you don't have a lot of money and only a little time to get what you want to get done in. Hopefully that makes sense. I make no guarantees about that. My name is FM Jellicoe, and this is the Red Devils Rising, Episode 8. We are going to start with the summer transfers. A lot happening, some of which was self-inflicted because I forgot to click on something that I usually take care of. And as a result, about killed the team in preseason. But we were pretty active, although I'm more upset at who got away more than anything else. We did release a bunch of players. The recognizable names are probably Andre Heinault, Elias Huth, Simon Scarlatitis, Carlos Sickinger left, and then Hikmet Sifsi. This kid, good grief, came to me wanting a new contract. And I said, let's wait until the end of the season. And he was like, okay, fine. Got to the end of the season, went to offer him a new contract, wanted 17,500 euros a week. I was like, no, I'm going to, I'll pay you like 11 and a half, maybe 12 and a half, but you're not going to be the highest paid player on the team by that much. I mean, I had a little bit of wiggle room salary wise, but not a whole lot. Pitched an absolute fit. A couple of the lower ranked players in the hierarchy were on his side. The others will look like, hey, stand your ground. We support you. And then every week it was something he was complaining about. I don't like your pep talks. I don't like this. I don't like that. And I finally got fed up and was like, you know what? You have 150,000 euros left on your contract. Here it is. Go away. And I essentially kicked him to the curb. And that was 4 weeks ago, give or take. And he still hasn't been picked up. So whether or not he has any interest from anybody, I don't know. Free transfers. Romario Grenz, who was a goalkeeper, a youth keeper, went to Vaduz on a free. On the ends, for us, we made some really good pickups. First, Lucas Kalala from Standard is a defensive right back, 19 years old, 2-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. I got him in here on a fairly decent contract. I'm looking. Let's see. If I click this, yeah, we can change that. 500 euros a week. Physically, okay, granted, he's 19 years old. He can grow into the role. Physically, he's okay. Acceleration, agility, pace is nice. Natural fitness is a bit above average. Mentally, he's not bad in any particular area, but he's not really good either. Technically, for a defensive right back, his marking, his passing, his tackling, and his technique are pretty good. His crossing is a little bit on the low side, and we are working on that. But for a free, I mean, you can't go wrong there. I did use the Fox and Box method of, let's take a look and see who was released. You essentially create a short list, then go to the world transfer window on a release date, and you can essentially click a country or as many countries as you want, and then go through just what I did is I sorted by position and then sorted by teams they were released from and did some searching. One of those turned up Stefano Mazzani, who comes to us from Italy. He was at Carrarese? I don't know. But anyhow, it was an Italian Serie C team. But he's graded out at 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star or 4-star potential ability. It was 4.5 stars, but I changed my assistant coach, so it's gone down a little bit. 22 years old, a couple years younger than Spahik. I like Spahik, but it was also one of those cases where Mazzini is better in enough areas that I like him. Shot stopping, physically, aerial, they're the same. Distribution, they're a little bit different. His first game was absolutely horrible with us. We'll get to that here in a minute. But he's really settled down. He came on as a first-choice goalkeeper. Spahik is still here. He's a capable backup. But one of the things I noticed when we did come up to Bundesliga was that he went down to 2.5 stars. And he's not going to get much better. Mamadou Doucouré is a defensive left-back, center-back, who comes to us from Borussia Mönchengladbach. We picked him up as a senior affiliate, but he was released by them. We picked him up. He is here on 9,000 euros a week, 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability, 23 years old. So there's a chance he could grow into that depending on how much playing time he gets. He is going to get a decent amount of playing time here. Physically, solid. Mentally, solid. Technically, good where it counts. 12 marking, 13 passing, 12 tackling, 13 technique. Crossing's a little bit on the low side, but we were working on that. Sven van Beek. Defensive right back, also plays defensive center back. One of the reasons I picked up these last two players was that they are fairly versatile. I can put them on the bench and they can cover 3 positions all by themselves. 3.5-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability, 27 years old. Physically, he's not the fastest in terms of acceleration. Pace, he's okay. Stamina, strength, he's average. Jumping reach, balance, agility, he's a little bit above average. Mentally, I love his determination. His concentration, composure, off the ball, positioning, teamwork, work rate, things like that, they're all nice. Technically, his crossing and dribbling are a little bit on the low side. He makes up for that with the first touch and the heading. His marking, passing, tackling, and technique are all really good. Plus, he's here on 12,000 euros a week. He's one of our more higher paid players, but he's going to be starting almost every game. And then Valerio Labriola comes to us from Fermana FC, which I want to say is, yeah, they're an Italian squad as well. 2-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, 20 years old. Midfielder, here's a backup more than anything else. Physically, he's got decent acceleration and agility and pace. Mentally, really good determination. Decision-making's nice. Aggression's nice. His vision and work rate are pretty decent. His off-the-ball could use some help, as could his positioning. Technically, his first touch is good. His long shots are okay, but the passing technique are good. His marking and tackling, on the other hand, not so hot. If I could get him loaned out to an affiliate for a little bit of seasoning, that would have been great, but no one wanted him, so he is on the under-19s for the moment. Loan deals. We did loan out Matteo Rab, Anas Backett, and Nicholas Sessa. At least 50% of their salaries being covered by the teams they went to. On the ins, Darko Churlinov comes to us from VfB Stuttgart. I got him because not only is he a decent advanced midfielder on the left, he's good at striker, advanced midfielder, center, and advanced midfielder on the right. Likes to play an inverted winger on the left. 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. We are paying his salary, but it's only 3.4 thousand euros, which is not bad. Physically, he's pretty good. Mentally, I think he's above average. The positioning and teamwork are a little bit on the low side. Technically, he makes up for that. He's got the 14 dribbling, the 12 first touch, 11 long shots, 12 passing, 14 technique. The fact that he can play 4 positions really, really well is in his favor. Then Noah Hotschalpen comes to us from Borussia Mönchengladbach. He plays all 4 of the left field positions fairly well. 9 times out of 10, he will probably be seeing a decent amount of playing time at defensive left back, though. 2.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. Physically, a little bit better than average. Mentally, better than average in most areas except composure. The 5 composure is a bit concerning to me. Technically, decent corner, dribbling, first touch. The passing is not the best, but the tackling and technique are pretty good. So he's a prospect. He's 21 years old. He may never get above like 3.5 stars, but he's cheap. We're not paying anything for him. And that's one of the big reasons I was happy to take him. Then the cash and clause transfers. We sold Lucas Gottwalt to Yeni Maltaspor in Turkey for 19,750 euros. Philip Hirschert went to Eintracht Braunschweig for 25,500 euros. Those were the only players out, really. On the ins, we had a little over 1 million euros. We spent most of that. A lot of these here is more like half up front, half in future payments. But first in, Nabil Touazi from Espanyol. They were relegated, and they were one of the teams I want to say they were relegated. Hold on a second here. First division? Did they not? Oh, they survived relegation. Nope, second division. 2020. Came down. They went back up. Okay, that's what happened. I scouted a bunch of teams in a bunch of countries. If they were going down a league, I scouted them. If they were going up a league, I scouted them. And I hit all the big countries. Italy, Germany, France, Spain, England. I hit Scotland. I hit Denmark. I hit Portugal. It was a lot of back and forth. But Nabil Touazi was out there for 50,000 euros. He was transfer listed by request, 20 years old, 3-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. Physically, he's better than Spalvis. Mentally, he's not bad, but where he is kind of concerning. The 3 bravery and 5 concentration are really on the low side. I know I can work on the bravery. It's the concentration I'm going to have to figure out how to raise up. Other than that, everything else is pretty solid. Technically, he's above average where it counts. 11 crossing, 11 dribbling, 12 finishing, 14 first touch, 10 passing, 15 technique. He's here as our 3rd striker, and he'll get a decent amount of playing time. And for 50,000 euros, I think he's a good pickup. Eric Smith was the one player I identified that I was willing to spend a bit of money for. We got him for 475,000 euros, going to 575,000 based on appearances. 3.5-star current ability, 4-star potential ability, a midfielder who can also play defensive center back, solid physically, solid mentally, technically really good except for his finishing. And I think he is well worth the money. 24 years old, so he's got a lot of good years left in him. He is going to be the anchor of the midfield. He's essentially Sifsy's replacement with hopefully fewer headaches. And then Gennaro comes to us from Mirandez. He is one my scouts found. Mirandez is a 2nd Pro Division B team. So they're like 5th division of Spanish football. I'm not quite sure how he popped up. I just know he popped up. I recognize the name from my high-end save. And so I thought I would take a flyer at him. 4-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. And this is at 2 Liga. He's 23 years old, plays midfielder, also plays a really good defensive midfielder. He and Smith are going to be teaming up for the foreseeable future. I think he's probably going to be my ball-winning midfielder. Physically, he's pretty solid across the board. The 10 stamina and 9 strength's a little bit disconcerting. The 6 balances as well. Mentally, very, very good. I love the 20 determination. The 15 decision making is great, as is the vision, the work rate, and the positioning. Technically, solid. The dribbling and finishing could use a little bit of improvement. Well, they could use a lot of improvement, honestly. But the 14 first touch makes up for that, as does the 13 marking, 14 tackling, and 14 technique. The 12 passing is also very nice. He definitely has a little bit of room to grow. And plus, he's here on 1,500 euros a week. You can't shake a stick at that. I mean, you could, but why would you? So transfer-wise, we spent 850,000 euros. We earned 45,500 euros. Budget-wise, that leaves us with 300,000 euros in the transfer budget. And I am currently spending over on my wage budget, so let me fix that real quick. It's going to do this thing, isn't it? Okay, I'm on 9,000 euros over. Hopefully the club is not too upset with that. The season ended. Last season ended June 19th. No, last season ended May 22nd. Didn't officially end until June 30th. Training camp started the 14th of June. I literally had 4 weeks to get a lot of stuff done. And then I scheduled a bunch of friendlies. And then I completely forgot to uncheck the button that said, I will schedule friendlies. Or I forgot to click the button that said, I will schedule friendlies. After I scheduled all of our affiliates, and then Borussia Dortmund, West Ham invited us to a tournament. I said, yeah, sure, because the money was nice and we were going to be on TV. And the next thing I know, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 4 more pop up, and they were accepted. The general manager accepted them. And the instant I saw that, I was like, okay, I got to go and click that off and undo that. It did kind of work out. One of the tricks I discovered listening to a couple different videos is if you're going to schedule them, but you're going to leave your assistant coach in charge of the friendlies, leave your tactics this blank. Your assistant coach will pick the entire roster, all 11 starters, all 12 subs, and he will rotate the entire side. And in this case, like I had a game on the 2nd, a game on the 4th, a game on the 7th, a game on the 11th, a game on the 14th. The starters here were on the bench here. There were starters here, they were on the bench here. So he had a really nice rotation going. Preseason-wise, we were absolutely dominant, except against the teams that were better than us. Borussia Dortmund beat us 5-2. West Ham beat us 5-2. We beat Racing Santander 5-2, and they're a decent squad. They're in the 2nd division of La Liga. Yeah, this is La Liga too. So this being the beta, I don't have any of the fixes or anything like that in. But it was a solid game against them. Our season did not get off to the best start. Erdogan came up with us. We beat them last season. We thumped them quite handily. They got their revenge on us, beating us 5-2. Lucas Roser had a hat trick's worth of goals, or a brace worth of goals. Everyone else was pretty much subpar. Mazzini had an absolutely horror show of a game. 3 of the goals he let in were absolute jokes. I literally pulled him off with like, well, you know what? I can show you. After 65 minutes, I pulled Mazzini off. It was just, he let in some goals that were just absolutely, the Grimaldi goal especially, that was the last straw for me. You know, I don't know if it was a case of nerves or what, but he just did not look like he was having a good time. We got ourselves right against Holstein Kiel. We beat them 2-1. A goal by Spalvis and a goal by Tuazi. I brought him on as a sub. He scored literally 2 minutes later. It was great. We had our DFB Pokal first round match against Jan Regensburg. They are also in Bundesliga 2. We beat them 3-2. This was a fun game. It was very back and forth. We held our own really well. It wasn't as close as it appears from the score, because I got an FM goal. But they had 15 shots, 8 on target. We had 8 and 5. They had a decent possession advantage, but our defense really stepped up and did a really good job. And then against FC Heidenheim 1846, we beat them 2-0. Mazzini was player of the match, so he recovered from his horror show of a game at Erdogan. Roser had a goal, Spalvis had a goal, and we're doing really well. Granted, we're only 3 games into the season, but for the moment, Spalvis and Roser lead off with 3 goals. Spalvis has 2 assists. Got a bunch of players on players of the matches. We're currently in 4th place. I do not expect that to last. I am aiming for a 12th place or better finish. So we have a couple games. Well, I think we're just going to do 1 game today. We are going to do Erzberg-Au. Yeah, and the big reason we're going to do Erzberg-Au is longtime followers of the channel. I realize there aren't a lot of you at this point, but there are. Will recognize this name, Eric Majashak. Here now, he's 21 years old. He turns into a quality midfielder. I had him in my high-end save. He was the team captain for a while. He's solid in midfield. He's one of those guys. He'll never be flashy. I think so. I don't think. Well, at least in the version of the game I had him in, he wasn't flashy, but you could stick him in the midfield, and oh my God, was he a good deep line playmaker. Didn't score a lot of goals, but his defense was above average, his passing was above average, and frankly, I'm keeping an eye on him. If I can get him for a decent price, I'll make a move for him. There's certain players in the game that after a while you develop an affinity for. For me, Eric Majashak is one of them. The other, and I haven't checked on him lately, is this guy right here, Borja Mayoral. He is a striker. He's nominally at Real Madrid, but he's been loaned out quite a bit. So he was at Roma and had a decent season for them last year. He's at Roma again this year. I had him in a Crystal Palace save a couple years ago on the SI forums and just absolutely fell in love with him. I can't explain why, because he's like a better Spanish version of Lucas Spalvis. He is not the fastest, not the best technically, but where he is good, he's really, really good. So, we'll give him a scout just to see how he's doing. And there's a couple other players out there too that there's players out there whose names I recognize that I wouldn't go out of my way for, but for the moment, Eric Majashak and Borja Mayoral, I would go out of my way for. So that said, I am going to check my reserves. We are playing with the modified rules this year, so we get 9 on the bench and can substitute 5. There's a couple other rules as well, mostly with regards to when you can sign players, and I believe the transfer windows and things like that have changed just a little bit as well. The one thing I am liking is that our first game at home against a Heidenheim team that necessarily isn't the best, we got 30,000 fans. I don't know how many of them were away. Yeah, I do. I can click on that. As I'm clicking everywhere but where I want to. 900 of them were away fans. So we had 29,000 fans at our stadium, which is 3,500 more than our stadium average last season. So that's nice to see. But anyhow, all that said, I'm going to double check my best 11 and the reserves. And we're going to come back with a match against Erzberg Au. And I know I'm totally pronouncing that wrong in just a bit. We've got a little bit before we actually get there. The one thing that was the most annoying to me this offseason was I brought in a lot of players on trial, probably about 25 or 30 players. You bring them in on trial for 2 weeks. At the end of 2 weeks, you know everything about them. I had at least 4 players who were all quality players. They were available on freeze. A couple of them, one of them was from another team, but they let him come and train. They all went through their training. The first week, they got a decent amount of game time in. I looked at them and said, you know what, you're great. I want you on my squad. Made them a contract offer. Oh, it's a second Pokal thing. I totally missed that. We're playing Heidenheim, who we just beat, so that's not too bad. Anyhow, saw what I liked, made them contract offers. They sat on them. They didn't accept them. They sat on them, and when their trial was over, they went and signed for another team. One of whom was a 4.5 star potential. One of whom was a 4.5 star current, 4.5 star potential striker, who I saw, liked, signed him to a contract, and then his trial period ended, and he went back to the team he came from. Now, something tells me if I'd been smart, once I'd signed him that contract, if I terminated their trial, then maybe that contract would have gone into effect. I should probably be kicking myself for that, because that just realized that. It's the other problem when you're doing transfer windows so late at night. I think a lot of football manager players can sympathize with that, but still, at the end of the day, if that is the case, then it's my own fault. The other thing I did try to do affiliate-wise was go through and cancel some of them, or at least change some of them, but the how affiliates are handled this year is different. I can go to affiliated clubs, and like as an example, I can select Offenbach, but unless it gives me the option to cancel the link, I can't outright cancel it. I have to negotiate the existing affiliation, and every time I tried with these 3 clubs right here, the board came back and said, no, we like them. I am more than happy, though, I was able to get Borussia Mönchengladbach as a senior affiliate. I think my other choice was Wolfsburg, but I liked the players that were available from Borussia better. So, but, you know, it's also one of those cases where if and when we get promoted or they get demoted, the affiliate link's broken, and I'm okay with that. Well, this is the squad we are starting today. We got Mazzini in goal. Shad, Van Beek, Kraus, and Doucouré are the defensive back 4. Smith and Gennaro are the midfielders. Ritter and Redondo are the attack midfielders. Roser and Spalvis are up top as the strikers. 15 minutes in, first highlight, Salazi to Reese. To Plettel, feeds Tesserat. He gets it over, but Shad intercepts that, sends it back to Mazzini. He rolls out to Smith. Long pass towards Spalvis. He feeds Ritter on the right, cuts inside, holds it up, gets by the one defender, crosses in, Spalvis is there, but he heads it over the crossbar. Some nice ball movement. Still haven't found a solution to the blinking billboards. Then again, to be honest, I haven't been looking all that hard either. It's been a busy couple of days. So Zielinski gets the carom, drives forward, gets it over to Salazi, takes a shot, and he scores. I don't know what the heck Mazzini was thinking, but that was bad. Gets a player of the match and then comes back and does that. Shad. Up to Ritter. He holds it up, sends it in. Roser's there, heads it, but it goes right to Manel. He bombs it forward, but it goes right to Gennaro. Roser, out to Redondo. All alone, baseline, crosses in. Spalvis is there, and he scores his 4th of the season. I'm not going to say he's picked up where he left off, because he's definitely off last year's pace, but that's to be expected. Nice job by Spalvis. Essentially keeping the defender on his inside shoulder so he couldn't do anything to get in the way of the ball. Rizzuto to Hofschild. Out to Shiplock. Centers it to Reese. Up to Testro, but it's knocked away. Redondo has it. He drives forward. Cuts a little bit inside. Still going. Takes the shot, but Manel, a very nice save, and pushes it just wide enough left. Salazi's going to run down the ball off the errant corner kick. Hugs the sideline. Gets it to Zielinski. To Curry. Probably did the right thing. Redondo just turns around and bombs it outside. I'm saying bombs a lot. Good grief. Coming up on a halftime. Even game score-wise. 1-1. Kraus with the ball. Over to Decore. Long pass towards Roser. Roser. Ritter gets it to Gennaro. Out to Shad. All alone on the right. Crosses it in. Errant pass. Reese heads it away, but it goes right to Van Beek. Gennaro to Roser. That was interesting. Redondo sends it in. It's knocked away, and that is getting close to half. Brain cramp there, trying to follow up on what was going on. They've had 3 shots, 1 on target. We've had 11 and 4, and a slight possession advantage. It certainly hasn't done us any good, as we are tied 1-1. Hands together, pump fists, hands on hips, stretch arms. That did absolutely nothing. My no gesture, I have faith in you, got more of a result. Kickoff highlight, Shad. Taps it over to Smith, up to Roser, feeds Spalvis. Oh, he tries a soft shot, but it goes just wide right. Ritter. Kakwatwala? Good grief. Kakutalala. Kaku. Knocks it forward. Hofschild has it. Gets it out to Salazi. Centers it to Reese. To Plettel. To Testrote. To Hofschild. Zielinski's there and he scores. That was some nice ball movement. Erzgebirge Au is really doing a good job moving the ball against us. Manzini keeps doing this matrix sort of thing where I'm going to bend at the waist and the ball's going to go right where my head used to be. Shad on the throw-in. Given away. Kakatala gets it back to Manel. Sends it forward. Testro has it to Hofschild. Bounces it off to Gennaro, but goes right to Reese. Zielinski has it. Gets it back to Reese. Over to Hofschild. Kraus just knocks it away before Mazzini can do anything wrong with it. Smith. Back to Van Beek. Centers it to Gennaro. Gets it to Spalvis. Over to Redondo. Decore recovers the ball. Roser has it top of the box. Shad is there. Oh, Manel, a very nice save. Shad on the throw into Spalvis, back to Shad, drops it off to Decore. He gets it to Shad one more time. Smith to Roser, out to Ritter, right side of the box, crosses it in. Roser's there, off Manel and in. That was either off Manel or off the crossbar. Poirier didn't want to come back this season. I tried getting him on loan again, and he said he didn't want to come. So as a result, Rote and Spalvis are my starting 2 forwards, with Tuazi coming off the bench and getting the occasional start. He'll probably get the start next game because we're playing Karlsruhe or Kickers, one of those 2 teams, like 3 days from now. Plettel blows by the one defender in the box, outside of the box, gets it to Ballas, to Reese, all the way back to Selassie. At the midfield line, he sends it all the way back to Manel. Erzberg out is going to reset. Manel gets it out to Zielinski. Tries centering it in, but Smith is there. Knocks it up to Roser, gets by the one defender, takes the shot, but Manel, a very nice save. We are going to make a couple of changes here. We're going to get Kraus off and bring on Reeder. Smith's not having the best game either, so we're going to get Tom Kraus back on. He is back again for another loan spell. And we're going to swap Kraus and Gennaro. Gennaro's a better deep line playmaker than Kraus is. But Kraus is a fairly decent ball-winning midfielder. So. Manel kicks it forward towards Zielinski. Zielinski gets it back from Testro. He holds it up, crosses it. Reese, top of the box, bounces off a couple of different Kaiserslautern players before Roser gets it. The Erzberg Al player totally misplayed the header, and Roser got a bit too aggressive, and Manel had no problems blocking that. Ritter sends it in. Shiplock knocks it away. Is Ritter going to get there? He is. Oh, he's fouled by Hofschelt. Rizzuto on the throw and gives it away to Van Beek, but he headed it to no one in particular, so Hofschelt runs it down. Fandrick. I got a cough. Nuts. Oh, Redondo steps in front of that. Drives forward. Takes... Wow. Holy cow, what a goal. His second of the season. That was a rocket of a shot. Stepped in front of the Erzberg player, brought it forward, top of the box, avoided the slide tackle, and just blasted it past the keeper. Last chance for Erzberg out. Rizzuto to Engen. Gives the ball away. Gennaro. Well, he gives the ball away to Kakatalua. Wow. Kaka. Jeez. Rizzuto. And they equalize in extra time. Who screwed that up? Son of a gun. Well, a late goal by Rizzuto in the 94th minute caused the drawback for Erzberg Au. You know, if we could stay mid-table, I will be happy with that. Redondo did shine. 1 goal, 1 assist. It was a solid performance by him. Send the assistant to the press conference. Take a look ahead. I think what we're going to do is come back for St. Pauli and Stuttgart, and then come back for Heidenheim-Bochum. And then we've got something international going on in November, in December, and January. So, is it World Club Championships? Was it World Cup? Is it qualification, maybe? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll find out here in a little bit. I'm completely not up to speed on European club competitions, especially when, without the real name fixed, they're probably called something completely different. But that said, Erzgebirge's a solid team. They've been into Bundesliga for a while. I really thought we had a chance. We got FM'd. I mean, well, did we get FM'd? It wasn't as egregious as some of the other stuff in the past. But I like Mazzini, but he just, for every good play he seems to make, he does one or two horror show plays that just make you really we'll get it figured out. But, you know, the goal this season is 12th place or better. As long as we do as well as that, I will be happy. I don't know that we get any money for that. Let's find out. We get something, somewhere around 14.82, which is nice. So, club's probably not happy I am over on the payroll budget, but we might be able to do a few things in that regard. So, if you did like what you've seen and heard, please have a like. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticisms, comments, leave those down below. I will answer those as fast as I can. My name is FM Jellicoe. I thank you for watching.